So this is a little insert that I forgot in our flow. So we're going to take time to do this, and then you'll jump into the flow video right afterwards. We'll lay down onto our back. And when we get here, we want to take our feet away from our butt. So they're not all the way scrunched in. They're out, so your thighs are like a 45-ish degree angle. And then you want to walk your thighs in so they're about hip bone width distance apart. From here, I'm going to put my hands here so you can see what's going on. We're going to tilt our pelvis back in the direction of the waistband, and then we'll rock our pelvis forward as if you're trying to arch your low back. Tilt it back as if you're trying to get your low back heavy on the floor. Tilt it front. Once you get that motion, can you take away your glutes and your legs doing it and find your abdominals tilting you back? And then back front. We go rock back. And then front. Our gaze goes up in the direction of the ceiling, keeping that nice integrity of our neck. So that roundness, or that, I guess I should say, that little bit of that arch right there into our neck. Let's go one more. And then our right hip is going to hike up in the direction of our right shoulder. So you have one short side of the body, one long. And then we'll switch. We'll hike our left hip up, lengthening through our right side. Once we find this motion, our butt stays on the floor. Take your feet and legs out of it. See if it can be low back abdominal muscles that are doing most of this motion. So your range might shorten quite a bit, or might, decrease quite a bit. One more each way. Find our center spot. And then we're going to think as if our right hip is lifting in the direction of the ceiling, and then bringing it down, and then our left hip. It's very small, and another way people like to think of it is as if your hip bone's belly button is a book, and your belly button's the spine of the book, and your right hip bone's the right edge of cover. Your left hip bone's the left edge, and you're trying to almost fold one hip bone over to the other, like you're trying to close that book. It's a small, small motion. You might be able to see my knees just barely kind of going up and then right back down. Let's go one more each way. And then find that center spot. And now let's join in with the rest of the video, coming up into a seated position where we'll start 90-90. Here's a mobility flow. This is a mobility flow I do once a week. Let's go ahead and start off 90-90. Front knee goes directly out from our front hip bone, and then a 90-degree bend into that knee. And the back leg comes straight out to the side, and then the same thing, 90-degree bend. We're going to hinge forward, flat back to lean forward, and then push your thigh down into the floor to sit yourself all the way back up. Actively pull yourself down like you're trying to lift your knee and foot towards you. And then let's push the knee and foot down into the floor to sit ourselves back up. A few more times. Pull ourselves down. Push to sit right back up. Two more. Pull. And press. One last one. Pull. And then press all the way back up, pushing your front knee and foot into the floor. We're going to lift our back knee up as far as you are able to go, and then we'll lower it right back down. Let's go again. Press it up and release it back down. When you're here, you can rotate your hips, everything, just as long as that front knee doesn't come up off of the ground. Let's go one last one. Feel your glutes, feel your external rotators, everything activating to pull yourself up. And then we'll release. And then once we're here, back in that 90-90, let's take our left hip, rotate it down in the direction of the floor, rotate back forward. So you may hit the ground, like your butt might touch. It may not. It doesn't really matter. But let's get that internal rotation down. Back up. If this feels good, you can stay here. If we want to add on, we're going to add a little bit more of a dynamic movement onto it. You may want your front knee to be padded. You're going to rotate, pull yourself up, come back down. Let's do it again. Rotate, pull yourself up. This time when you come down, can you stop just shy of bringing your butt to the floor? Pull yourself up. We rotate, stop shy, right back up. And down, and up. Let's go about 2 more. If you need to, notice that my front heel is pulled closer to the groin. That can happen, and the back heel can pull closer in too. Last one, then stop just about an inch or two shy of the floor and hold it here. Breathe, hold. Think about your left butt cheek getting a little lower down in the direction of the floor for 3, 2, 1, and then we'll go ahead and we'll relax all the way down. Switch, we go other side. Take our left leg, bring it forward. Right leg's going to pull back, so we have a 90-degree angle to that front leg. Same thing with our back leg. Hinge forward, flat back. Press your front knee and foot into the floor to sit yourself back up. Actively pull yourself down into it. Push down to lift up. A few more. Let's pull. Push to sit back up. Let's go for 3. And notice with this, I always have, and most people have one side that's just a little bit harder in that 90-90 than the other side. That's okay. Last one. Once we get here, press your front thigh into the floor, lift your back knee up. You can release it back down. Keep that knee down. If this 90-90 position is uncomfortable here, even before we do those lifts, you can always pull your heels in closer to your groin and your butt. So slower, controlled, using your muscles to open. 2 more. Last one. This mobility flow is what I feel like. Let's rotate your hips back as if you're trying to take your butt cheek to the floor and then come back forward. Is for me kind of everything. It is what keeps me going every week. When I miss a week, like I can feel it. I can definitely feel it in my body, but this is for sure what allows me to keep playing on the floor with my kids, or to stand up just right up off the ground without, holding something. If this feels good, stay with it. If you want to lift up, make sure that knee is padded if you need it. You can also pull everything in a little closer. Raise up, lift, lower, stop just shy of the floor. Lift and rotate. Notice my torso is rotating, comes back the other way. Think as if your right butt cheek is what's going to be closest to the ground. And up. 2. Last one. Hold here. Hold like an inch off the ground. Think as if you're trying to get your right side lower than your left. It probably isn't going to go that way, but that's where you want to have that mental thought. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it all the way down. Let's lay down onto our stomach, like all the way down onto our stomach. Once we get here, you're going to take your arms forward, palms face in, depending on what surface you're on. This actually works really great if you have a foam roller, and I want to do this one here for us with minimal equipment. If you have one, you can take the blade edge of your hand on the foam roller, and you'll be using that. Otherwise, we're just going to bring our hands to the floor, actively feel your shoulder blades pull down to the spine, lift ourselves up, drag ourselves up, lower down, fully bring your arms forward. Then again, pull back and lift. And then release. What I like to think of here is that bottom rib, the lowest rib for you. Can you keep it on the floor? So it's not about how high can I lift. It's more about driving your sternum forward, lifting your collarbone to the ceiling. If it feels good for you, next few times when you lift up, pull up, and then add neck extension. And then lower. Last one. And then we'll release. Bring ourselves up into an all fours position. All fours, take our right hand, bring it behind the head. Push your head into your hand. Lengthen your spine. So the top of our head reaches forward. Sits bones lengthen back. Rotate our shoulder towards the ceiling. And then right back down. We'll rotate shoulder up and then down. So I don't care where your elbow goes. We don't want to think of leading from our elbow because it's our upper back that wants to do that movement. Can you maintain your hips staying stable and still? Let's go one more. And then switch, we go other side. Left hand goes behind the head, push head into the hand. We rotate up and then back. We rotate, lift, lift, lift. Stay long through the spine. Hips stay still and as stable as they can. Let's go one more. Take ourselves back into a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift our hips up high and back. Walk the dog, bend the right leg, then the left. And then when we're here, find somewhere in the center. Step our right foot to the outside of our right hand and then bring it back. Let's go step our left foot to the outside of our left hand and then bring it back. Right foot outside of the right hand and back. And now left foot and back. Right foot steps and holds there. You have the option. You can drop down onto your knee. You can keep your knee lifted. We'll open our right knee out like you're coming to the blade edge of your foot. Pull it right back in. We open it out and in. Open and in. I'm going to turn and face so that you can see what that knee's doing. We go out and in. Two more. Last one, open and hold. Hold there. Push the blade edge of your foot into the floor. You'll feel your glute engage. Stay here. Hold here. Hold and breathe. Keep pushing that blade edge down. Feel your glutes or your external rotators firing. And now let's switch. Let's go other side. Left foot to the outside of our left hand. And then once we're here, we're going to open. Back in. Open and in. Same thing. This can be done. I'm putting my knee down so you can see this option. Doesn't change anything. It just takes a little bit of pressure off upper body and like in the legs and whatnot. Let's go open. Let's go for two. Last one, open and hold. Hold here. Push the blade edge of your foot down into the floor. Hold and breathe. Keep pushing. Keep feeling those external rotators firing. 3, 2, 1. Let's release. I'm going to stay facing you. Left knee is going to stay down. Right leg is going to open out to the side. From here, we rock back as if you're taking your butt towards your heel and come forward. Let's go back and then back front. So these are kind of, I don't know what you want to call them, half frog rock backs. So we're getting inner thigh, groin. These are really great pelvic floor exercise as well. Let's go one more. And then we switch. We go other side. Right knee down, left leg goes out. Same thing. Rock front and back. So when you rock, I'm going to turn this way so you can see a little bit better. See if you can maintain where your butt just doesn't roll under to go back. So can you maintain sits bones back, head long as you rock back? At some point, your pelvis will probably want to roll under, but you want to see if you can maintain that really great neutral kind of flat back. Now, I don't even love the word flat back, but your body's natural curves, maintaining them as you rock back. Last one. And now we're coming up into kind of a straddle hold. So you're going to come both legs, lift up. And then from here, you're going to open up your legs. I'm going to give you a couple options. So this is a good stretch, right? This nice straddle, forward fold. We can definitely do that. I'm not for myself interested in just stretching. I really like the strength component of it. So what I'd like, if you want that as well, is you're going to open up your feet as far as you think you're able to, and then you're going to bring yourself up And then we're going to hold here. And you might find, like for myself, I'll probably slide out further than this, but we're going to hold for a good about 30 seconds holding here. What I'd like you to notice, for me, I'm already shaking a little bit, is think about your pelvis being under you so that you're not sticking your butt out. The muscles here working. So they should be pretty darn active and feel like not only is this like a stretch, but oh my gosh, this is working all those muscles as well. Let's hold for about 10 more seconds. Engage your quads so you have a straight leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll release. We'll bring it all the way back down. And now we're ready to also open up into a straddle kind of fold. So you'll come onto your sits bones, those two bony landmarks. And then you want to open up your legs into a straddle position. But here's the thing. If I go straight legs, for most of us, we're unable to maintain the natural curves in our back when our legs are straight. You may need to sit on a couch cushion or a pillow. Or if we just bend our knees, can you get it where you can be on your sits bones and all of a sudden, wow, I can lift up out of my hips. That's the position that we want, because this next move is going to be similar to a deadlift. From here, hands can come across your chest. You're going to hinge forward. Notice that movement is coming from pelvis tilting, not back rounding or chest trying to drop. So I'm going to go hinge of the pelvis, come right back up. Hinge, back up. If this is something that comes easy to you, what you can do is you can weight these. You can put 2.5-pound plate across your chest. I'll also show you another option can be arms go up overhead. Both of these are going to make this exercise just a little bit harder. They go hinge. Remember, move from pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. That's about where I stop. Anything more than that is now going to be my back doing that. Let's go 2. Hinge and hold. Hold here. Hold and breathe. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way back up. Okay, we're going to do a few more of those, but I'd also like you to grab, I'm going to grab mine really quickly, a long bath towel. If you have a yoga strap, a big band. Once you have it, you're going to take as much of a wide of a grip as you need. We're going to start with just going up and over. So we're going to go back, back, front. Soft knees so that when we go, we want to, again, maintain our back in the same shape as if we were just naturally standing. So if we can do this, but this is what we've got to do to get over and around, I want us to see if we can kind of either open our arms out further, find that space where our back can kind of be in its natural state. If we're just starting out, or if this is kind of a harder spot for us, that just might not be available. And that's okay. Just know, okay, my back's arching, and one day I'm going to try to make sure it doesn't. Let's do one more. Okay, take whatever you're using, a band, if you have a ruler, if you have a big bath, towel, and bring it behind you. Your palms are going to face up. From here, we're going to lift up as high as we can, hinge forward, round forward, let that object go closer to the floor. Pull it as close to the floor as you can. And now the distance you have from your object to the butt, you're going to try to maintain it as you stand back up and then release it down. Let's do that again. So we go lift, hinge, stand back up, release. We go lift, hinge, stand up, release. Keep going. Lift, hinge, stand, release. 2 more. Last one. And then release. Bring it down into an all fours. All fours. We're going to come back to that. All fours, you're going to turn your fingertips to face back towards you. Heel of the hands are going to go forward. We'll start with rocking front and back here. But here's the thing. The more I'm forward to start, the less intensity it's going to be. The more I'm back, harder it's going to be. I want to see if I can ground my pinky and my thumb into the floor. If I'm unable to get those, that is the stretch. You're not going to be rocking at all. And we have a fair number of wrist things that we're going to do. So we're going to kind of work through the wrists, go back to that straddle kind of pancake position, straddle fold, come back up to one of our shoulder ones and get a little bit more back extension too. So we're going to go through a little bit of kind of a circuit, if you will. Last one. Now flip your hands, palms face up. Same thing. Can you feel your pinky and your thumb glued to the floor? And we're going to rock front and back. And remember, I talked about flexibility being one thing, but we also really want to find strength in here. So we are doing these really great rocks. And in fact, I'm going to show you an exercise that again dives deeper in it. And then let's try to strengthen these wrists. So when you're here, lift your right hand up now. Take your left thumb and you're going to cross it over the body. And then if you can bend your thumb up. So you're almost creating this like little coil of a thumb. And then you're going to rotate your upper arm bone. And if you go, what? I can't see any of that. Let me see how I can do it here. Here, and you're going to cross your thumb and then you're going to try and curl it up. So it'll be this, and then this is what's going to move. We're going to rock. You're going to rotate it. And when you start, you might say, oh my gosh, just bringing my thumb across without curling it is hard enough. You may say, I can curl it, but there's no way I can rotate my arm. And that's okay. This is where we can work towards. We may not be there today. Let's switch, go to the other side. Just because one side is there doesn't mean the other side's going to be. 2 and 1. Okay, come up onto our fists. Coming up onto our fists, your weight is over the fists. If you lean back a little, that's fine. You're just taking some of that intensity off. Think of it like a weight stack. You're just dropping down in weight. You're going to rock forward. So there's like little donuts in that fist. Kind of come to the floor, touch. Actively pull yourself up. Bend your elbows. Go to the other part. Now actively pull yourself up. We go front, bring it back, back, bring it forward. Front, back, back, front. And think of, again, I can just dump into this, but can I actively pull myself into it? If it's easy, bring yourself into a modified push-up position. All of a sudden, you're going to go, oh, holy cow, there's a lot more intensity. If that feels easy, you can do the same thing in a push-up position. Last one. Palms down, fingertips face forward. Same thing, if I have my weight back, easier. If I bring it forward, harder. Raise up, just like you're doing a calf raise, but for your fingertips. Even weight distribution, so you're not dumping into one finger or the other. And then lower down. So calf raise for your hands and your wrists. Lift and lower. If this feels easy, if you take it into that modified push-up position, holy cow, all of a sudden it adds a lot more intensity. 3, 2, last one, and we'll release. Okay, let's come back to, let's lay on our stomach. Let's get back to a little bit of an extension through our spine. Let's bring our forearms down onto the floor. And when we talked about that bottom rib before, I want you to find it again. You're going to walk your elbows forward as much as you need to so you can feel your bottom rib on the ground. And then push your hands and forearms down to the floor and lift out of your shoulders. If you do that and you go, oh, but now my bottom rib isn't on the ground, walk your elbows a little bit further forward. From here, push hands down into the ground. Think about actively pulling your hands and your elbows back towards you. You'll feel more back engagement. So here's the thing. I'm going to talk you through this a little bit, but we're going to try to hold for 2 minutes here. If extension is kind of a really hard thing for you, don't start at 2 minutes. Start at maybe it's 30 seconds. Just know that we're going to build the more that you do this to that 2 minutes. So hands push down to the floor. Think of elbows pulling back. Same thing. I like a little neck extension. We're already 30 seconds into this. Think of sternum, so that center of chest, reaching forward, your collarbone, lifting up. What you're attempting to do, and it's not going to happen, is that you're almost trying to invert this part of your back. Like make a little soup bowl right there, like this little curve so that you could, I don't know, if you put candy, you could put a little candy right in there. It's not, again, going to happen, but that's the area of your back that you're trying to think of. Again, sternum pulling forward, collarbone lifting up. That's the movement. That's the area we're trying to go. You're over 1 minute into this. We have 45 seconds left. Keep holding, keep breathing. When we finish this, we're going to get a nice child's pose position with some other good, fun, feel-good back things. We have 15 seconds, final 15. Keep dragging your hands and your elbows back. Feel your back muscles actively working here. Chest is opening, but back muscles are working. For 3, 2, 1. Release it down, press back, child's pose position. Walk your hands over to the left. Take your left hand, bring it on top of your right. Push your right hand down and actively try to pull it forward. You'll get a stretch through that right lat. You can even take your right rib cage over to the right more. You can take your right hips back more. Just get a little deeper stretch. And then walk your hands over to the right. Take your right hand on top of your left. Push your hand down, then same thing. Pull it forward. And bring ourselves up to all fours. Let's take your right knee. It's going to stay down on the floor. Your right foot's going to lift up and you're going to pivot it to the right. You're going to turn your gaze to your right foot, and it actually has nothing to do with your head. It's more about your shoulder and your hip. It's like your hips hiking to your shoulders pulling down to your hip. You're creating this nice C shape. And then take that same right foot, pivot it the other way, and turn your gaze the other way. We're going to go back and forth, creating deep C's to each side of the body. This is a QL stretch. QL being those muscles right next to your spine, kind of under where your rib cage is, but above where your hip bones are. They're typically the ones where if you sit quite a bit, they're pesky. They sometimes like to talk to us. One more each way. And then we'll switch. We go other side. Left foot lifts up, turn the left toes out, gaze to them, and then the other way. We'll go one side, other side. Again, think about deepening that C shape on each side of the body so you get that good stretch. Last one. And then a few cat-cows. Rolling under, rounding the spine, reversing. Rolling under. See if when you're here, instead of just lifting your spine up and down, which is what we typically do, you can start at the very base of your sacrum. So the very, very bottom. And you want to think of only rolling that first. And then rolling up through low back. And then mid back. It's going to require a lot of abs. Then upper back. Finally, the head. And then let's release the tailbone first. So see if you can only have your tailbone start to release. Again, this is going to require a lot of abs. Move through sacrum, low back. Everything else is still rounded. Mid back, then upper, and then neck. Let's do one more. Start at the very lowest spot. Lots of low abs. Let's go. Use your abs. Pull, roll it under. Roll, 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 roll. Round it first. Move through the sacrum, tailbone. This should be hard. Low back. Mid back. Upper back. Head. We release it. Sacrum, tailbone. Low back. Mid back. Upper back. And head. And then let's sit onto our butt. Find that straddle position. If you used a pillow or anything last time, you might want to find that again. Or if you had a bend to your knees, that's great. Find wherever your hand position was. Remember, this movement is coming from our pelvis. So we want to think about pelvis, not our spine. Sometimes it's really hard to identify what is it, just pelvis moving. So let's hinge and then back up. You want to think of below your belly button. That is what you would want to touch the floor. So if anything was able to get to the floor, it would be lower than your belly button first. The last thing that would ever touch the floor is like your nose. I don't know, maybe if my nose sticks out, maybe it would be my forehead. But you get what I mean. Like, I'm not attempting to get down at all. It's thinking about moving. The pelvis is what moves. The more you can unlock this, oh my gosh, we open up a whole world of hip mobility. Let's do one more. And then hinge and hold there. Get long through the spine, abs engaged. Hold it for 5. Use your abs, use your low back muscles to get longer, taller. Try to move your pelvis a little bit more. 2, 1, and then we'll go ahead and we'll release. Okay, let's stand up. Let's grab that towel, whatever it was that you used before. We did those rounds of this. This time we're going to do it one time, but we're going to hold in each place. So let's open up our arms as wide as you need to. Palms are going to face back behind you. We're going to start off soft knees. Pull that object away from your butt and just hold here. Think of long knuckles, meaning we don't want them curled under. The other way, think of long, long, long. Hold it for 5. And now forward fold. Hold here. Same thing. How close can that object get to the floor? Now keep that newfound height. Stand it up and hold. This is going to be a lot of work here. Lift, lift, lift. Don't let it drop. Can you keep your back almost that same shape as if you were standing? Keep driving it up, drive it up, drive it up for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll release. Okay. Let's go right arm. Bring it front. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. From here, straight elbow, you're going to take your shoulder blade and we're going to move circles. We want to think about these circles almost like it's a train wheel. So the circles aren't kind of maybe normally what you think of. It's like it's up and around. Notice if your elbow is wanting to do the work. Or you might even go, this is odd. It doesn't feel like a circle. It feels like a octagon. And that's fine. Reverse, go back the other way. We slowly, over time of doing this, want to bring it to where it is a circle or as much of a circle as it can be. Switch, let's go. Other side, other arm. We have a few more of moving, and then we're going to get into static stretching. Some like feel good, probably I think 3 static stretches where you're going to use either, if you are like at a gym, a bench, reverse, go back other way, or you can use a bed as another good one where you're going to, as long as you don't have like a high footboard. 3, 2, and 1. Now next circle, circle all the way around. You want to avoid any areas that are sharp pain. If there's sharp pain, just create a smaller circle. If it makes you dizzy, same thing, you can avoid making such a big circle. And now reverse. It's okay if you feel little crunchies, little like pop, 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 as long as there's not followed with pain. And we're going to move up higher on the neck. So occipital area, that area right underneath kind of that bony ridge of your head. This is where we're going to think about trying to move from. So if you find as if you have like a pencil coming out of the top of your head, we're going to want to now do circles on the ceiling. So that circle, it's not the rest of my neck moving, it's that upper area. Now reverse, go the other way. And we'll release. Okay, for the next exercise, it's a static stretch. You may want a pillow for your knee. You're going to bring it down right in front of where your couch is, your bed is, bench is. We're going to move into couch stretch. So your knee is going to come down onto the floor. Your foot's going to come up onto that bench or whatever the object is. And it doesn't have to be like the top. It's okay if the foot keeps kind of sliding up. You can always be really low down. And then if you're able to, you can come up. You have a couple options in this stretch. If I lean forward, I'm going to get a little bit more hip flexor. If I pull it back and roll my pelvis under, I'm going to get a little bit more quad. So you can do this stretch multiple times. You can also decide where is it that for that day, that's where you're going to want that stretch at. But we're going to hold here. When it comes to static stretching, where you really do want to make an impact, there's lots of theories behind it, lots of theories of following it up with strength work, all sorts of different things. For today, we're ending with it. We're going to hold for at least a minute, Sometimes when you're in a stretch, if it's really hard and difficult, you can feel the moment where your body goes, oh. That moment is when you know you're good and kind of you can be done with that exercise. So we're going to hold and breathe. You can feel free, if any of these feel good, to pause this. Hold it for as long as you want, and then come back. But I'm going to watch the timer, and just for the sake of time, we're going to go for 1 minute, and then we'll go ahead and come back up. We'll do the other side and other ones. 3, 2, 1. Let's release out of this. Okay, and let's come to the other side. And we'll go knee down, foot goes up. Same thing. Remember, there's lots of options here on where you can be. You can lean forward. You can roll your pelvis under, and let's hold for 1 minute. 1 minute. If you can see it getting darker in here, it's like so ominous outside, and I have the doors open, and I'm just waiting. If you hear the noise of the torrential downpour about to happen, like when it happens, I'm like, oh, that's the best. That's the best. Keep holding and breathing here, feeling as if you're rolling your pelvis under. Typically what we're not, and you can actually take your hand to your pubic bone and notice if it's pointing in the direction of the floor. Mine isn't. Mine's tilted back. Let me actually switch legs. You keep holding so I can show you what I mean. But when you're here, if you take your hand to your pubic bone and you rest your fingertips on it, you'll notice if your fingertips are pointed straight down, they're pointed back behind you. You can try to roll your pelvis under a little bit to get that more kind of up and down neutral pelvis position, and you'll feel your stretch intensify. Let's go ahead and we'll release. Okay, I'm gonna try to go up in like intensity, if you will, although this one's fairly relaxing. You're gonna lay down, and I'm gonna turn this so you can see better. You're gonna lay down onto your bed or your bench. Wherever you're laying, you do want your butt at the very edge, and then we're gonna roll down, which is why this doesn't work great if you have a high like footboard. And then when we get here, again, scoot, scoot, scoot it down, hug one leg in all the way into the chest. You'll feel your back, your lower back kind of get softer on the floor, and then drop the other leg down. And you'll be able to notice I actually scooted a little too far. I don't feel super supported. You can come back to it, and we'll hold. Some people like their right leg out to the side. Some people like it straight forward. I find that I like a little bit out to the side. And we're going to hold here for, again, about 1 minute of a hold right here. Breathe into this. If you are at a gym or you're somewhere or you're with somebody, you can have weight put down onto this leg. You can set it up so something like you're sliding underneath something that's pushing it down, or you can have somebody help you push it down. Just make sure what likes to happen if this leg isn't glued is the low back will take it, if you notice right here. So that's why this wants to be super close in, and if anyone pushes your leg down, make sure you don't lose the integrity of your low back. We don't need our low back being what's taking the stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll switch. Other leg comes in, that opposite leg drops down. And then we'll hold here. Hold and breathe. Over halfway there, we've got about 20 more seconds. Again, reminder, if any of these you just want to hang out in them longer, just pause it, come back. The skies have opened. 4 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We'll release. Roll off however it is that you're going to get off your bench or your bed. This last one, I'm going to say if you're on a bed, it's going to be probably a little higher up. What I'm asking you to do isn't going to be available, so I want to show that first. And just know this is lower, so your body's going to look a little bit different. But you can come into an elevated pigeon. I love this one. If you're on edge of the bed, again, I might be a little bit more upright. This leg might be more in and my body might be more upright, but that's going to be the stretch that you take. I'll show you if your object is lower and or if you have pretty good hip mobility, because this one's pretty darn intense. When you're here, I'll show you this one and then you can pick what one you're doing and we'll talk about how to make it easier or harder. You're going to come into that pigeon stretch. You're going to drop down. So the closer my heel is towards my groin, harder it's going to be. The further I go forward, easier. When we're here, I don't care if you're higher up on a bench or if you are lower, on like a bed, or if you're lower down on a bench. I want us to start with some active movement and then we're going to sink into the stretch. So your toes tuck under. Again, you might be higher up. You might be slowly, like a little bit of a bend of the knee, or it might be a big bend like this. We're going to push down and lift. We're going to lower. Press down. Use your glutes and your external rotators to pull up and then back down. Lift and lower. If we are barely getting into this position, like don't worry about it, about lifting and lowering. Keep going if you can. Think about just actively pushing your thigh down to get some glute engagement. Let's go one more. And then lower and hold. Hold it here. We're going to just hold and stretch for that 1 minute. You can lean forward if you want. And also know you have a good side usually, and you have a not as fun side. I think this one's my good side. The other one, it's like, whoo, whoo, to kind of hold in that position. And again, remember, you can be more elevated. This, I'd say, with your knee down on the ground on a bench, is very challenging. So do not feel like this is where you need to be. You can be up much higher. You can even take like, I have my mother do this, but sometimes I have her on the back of the couch, so it's even higher up than that, but she's still getting some of that movement. 3, 2, 1, let's release. We're gonna switch. We go other side. This is where I'm always like, please let that have been the side that was harder. And then we're gonna, sink down into it. Okay, remember we're gonna do some active work, engagement work first, and then we're gonna come into the stretch. So feel your glute work to lift and then lower. So what I'm gonna say is that I have had a client or two who's just their knee didn't like this when they lifted. And so same thing, if that is you, keep lifting and lowering if you're able. When you're here, you just wanna think about pressing your shin and your upper thigh into the surface, and see if you can get a little bit of engagement, and then release, and do that a few times. Let's go one more, and then lower down, and then we'll hold. Hold and breathe. This is, by the way, your final exercise, your final hold. If you want, you can close your eyes, just breathe into it. We have about 30 seconds, so 30 seconds left. You can always lean forward if you'd like. Three, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and we'll release. You are done for the day. Have a wonderful day. Thank